Alright guys, welcome back. We're gonna try to get this amp bias really quick. Word of caution, these things right here hold a lot of voltage even when it's not plugged in. So do not stick your hands in there and make sure you discharge the capacitors before touching anything inside the amp. When you're working in the amp, when you're biasing, you have to have it plugged in and turned on, and obviously there's gonna be a lot of voltage, lethal voltage in here. So please be careful if you're doing that. If you're not an expert, I don't recommend you doing it. Take it to an amp tech and they can take care of that for you. So I'm also not an expert, but I am accepting the risk for myself. And I guess I'm trying to become an expert, maybe, I don't know. So first thing you want to do, obviously you got to plug in the amp. I have a load plugged into the output. You don't want to run your amp without a load there. Then I am measuring the plate voltage over here, connected to the plate over here, pin 5, according to that over there. Yeah, pin 5 right here, and that's what this multimeter is connected to. So this multimeter is connected to pin 5 and then to ground. And then to measure the milliamps, we have the 1 ohm resistor that I installed. Let me zoom in. So this is the 1 ohm resistor I installed to ground on the cathode, and that's gonna give me the measurement for the milliamps. So I got one end, the cathode end, I got the positive, and the negative I got it into the ground. So all right, so let's turn that on. Make sure I don't have no reflection there. So like I said, this is gonna measure milliamps, and this is gonna measure plate current right here. So we're gonna power it on. And the back of this multimeters are plastic. So got 500 volts here. The tubes are warming up. I guess the standby switch was on, so as soon as the tubes start conducting, it'll go down. So we'll let it warm up for a minute. Let me go grab my iPad real quick. All right, so on the iPad right here, you get I'm in Rob Robinette's website. I'm gonna put a link on the video and on the description. So make sure you read that warning. That warning right there. Tube amplifier chassis contain lethal high voltages even when unplugged, sometimes over 700 volts and 500 volts DC. So you gotta be careful. Like when I measured there, it was like 700 volts. So on the tube bias, we're gonna use the tube bias calculator for plate to cathode voltage. So also over here it talks about what types of amps are class A and class B's. So I think this amp is a class AB because it has 2 power tubes. 2 or more power tubes is considered to be a class AB. So when you go on the bias calculator, you want to use a class AB line. So it looks like it's 481 on the plate voltage right here. So I'm gonna put 481 here. And then EL34, I already selected EL34 because that's what I have. And then I want to click calculate. And for the class AB bias, so a 50% cool is 26 milliamps. And then 60% is 31. And then the max 70% max safe dissipation is 36.4. So I am going to put mine at 36. Maybe 35. So give it a little bit of room there. So over here you have the bias circuit. So notice that this has a resistor connected to the AC power right here. Let me use the other stick. So it's picking up some AC from here through this resistor, and then there's a diode. And notice it's facing the other direction. So the positive, the gray line is where the positive is. So the positive is on this side. So it's allowing negative. So it's picking up negative from the AC current right here. And then this circuit is gonna step the negative current to about 40, I don't know what the range is, but usually we want about negative 40 volts in the grid to get a good bias. Then you control the voltage with this potentiometer right here. The more voltage you put into the grid, the less milliamps it's gonna produce. So we're gonna decrease, right now we're gonna decrease the negative voltage to increase the output of the tube. That's too much. All right, that's a little bit overboard, so I'm gonna go back a little bit. It's very sensitive. See where that ends. Now, as you leave, it's gonna drift. So I think that's pretty good. 36. I'm gonna leave it at 36. So, and that's just measuring one tube. So now you want to measure the other tube also. If they're pretty good, they should be almost the same. I mean, they can be a little bit off. Not every tube is perfectly made. And that one is 42. $35 and 42. So I'm gonna bring this down. That's way off. These tubes are not very good balanced. I may have to check that because okay, I'm gonna be very careful, but this is metal. So since this tube is the highest, I'm just gonna put this one to 36. $35 is good enough. And let's measure over here. And that is 30. Negative 42 and negative 42. So they're both getting negative 42 volts. Negative 42 volts. So the voltage is the same, but the bias. So that one's 35. And this one's 30. That's 5 milliamps difference. Yep. I have a bad tube. That thing is not good. So there it is. So that's pretty much how you bias your amp. And I think I'm gonna replace those tubes. Let me replace them real quick. All right, guys. So I went ahead and cleaned it out, cleaned the sockets out, and let's turn this on, warm up the tubes. I cleaned the sockets out and readjusted my ground points, tighten them up a little bit, make sure they're making good ground. Spray some contact cleaner on the sockets, and let's see if they're working better now. So we're gonna put this over here. Gonna connect this right here again, the plate voltage. All right, so we're gonna turn on power. Show the volume, sit down. Got the connected. Got 474, keep climbing. 480. I'm getting 34 milliamps, which is, I'm fine with that. 34 milliamps on this tube. And now let's see on this one. There's something going on. All right, let's see. All right, that one looks like 34. And this one, 34. So it looks like those tubes are perfectly balanced. All right, 34. And then 35. So there you have it. Sometimes you gotta troubleshoot a little bit. I'm gonna power this off. Watch the voltage go down. So there you go. It goes down pretty quick because I have a load on and the tubes are still conducting even when you power it off, and that's how they get discharged. If you don't have tubes on there, they won't get discharged and you have to do it manually. So take off the power. So I had to do a little bit of troubleshooting. I guess the socket it's brand new, but maybe it had something on there, so I sprayed some contact and make sure all the grounds are making good contact. That could probably cause noise and stuff like that. So there you have it. Let's take it to the testing bench and see what this amp sounds like. All right, guys, so we're gonna try out this tone on the Mojotone 800 that I just built. So right now I'm gonna put everything halfway. Everything's gonna be halfway. Preamp's gonna be a 10, and then the volume, I'm not gonna go much on the volume because my wife will kill me. So let's take it off standby. So I'm going straight into the amp, and I have so right now I have my LTD guitar plugged in straight into the amp. Everything is halfway. Master just a tiny bit up. Preamps all the way up. I have a Shure SM57 mic in front of the cab. This is a Marshall cab, and I have vintage 30s in it. And the mic is hooked up to a Focusrite 2i2 into my MacBook recording in Logic Pro. So let's see what this sounds like. Right now we're gonna start with the low gain. Let's start with the low gain. Everything halfway. I still haven't learned how to play guitar, so I'm gonna struggle a little bit here. Well, that's boring. Let's go to the distortion. sure everything's halfway still. Ooh, that's too loud. All right, let's bring the middle a little bit up, treble a little bit down. Get that crunch. Let's bring the presence a little bit up. More treble. Mids all the way up, bass down, more presence. is a pentatonic. All right. So there it is, the Mojotone 800. That's the tone. Next video, I think I'm gonna do some upgrades to it. Maybe add another gain stage, and see what else I can do with it. Hey guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. If you stuck to the end, please leave me a like, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you on the next video. Thanks.